That's great stuff from the Browns. I don't care who your quarterback is. You're going to have a chance if your defense is only giving up 58 yards and, well, 0 points, even more importantly, for this Cleveland team that comes away with their 5th victory of the season. Watson in his return, 19 of 32, 19, 2 touchdowns, 22 with his feet.
All right, before we get into anything else, how does the shoulder feel?
I feel good. So, we made some big throws and took care of it, so came out healthy.
Make some big throws. We saw how pretty that deep ball was. The intermediate stuff, do you feel like you got the rust off?
It's still coming along. This was a good game to be able to fill that out, but, I'm just going to keep building off of it.
Amari, I know you told me this week that your job is not to care who your quarterback is, but when you're out there with this quarterback, what do you think about the future?
I mean, it's Bryant. As you can see, he made some phenomenal throws out there. I just be worried about him. He's so dynamic. I had to tell him, like, yo, hey, slide, man, slide sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, he went out there and he did his thing.
This might be the most un-diva-like receiver on the planet. So when you play with someone like this and he tells you what to do, you do listen, right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely listen. I mean, cool, he just want to win. That's all he want to do. He help everybody else out. He knows his plays don't come, and he just want to win. So that's the biggest thing.
All right, guys, I really appreciate it, and have a fun next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, big one here for the Browns, offense and defense showing up. It's their first shutout since Week 15 of 2007. That's 251 games.
Long time coming.
Without a shutout. Shutouts are rare to come by, but that was the second longest active streak in the NFL. That streak now gone. Washington still leading the way. Hasn't had a shutout since 1991. Defense showing up here for the Browns in this win. 5-3, matching their best 8-game start since 1994. Back in studio with the 2-time Super Bowl champ, Joe Musso, alongside Bryant McFadden. We welcome in those of you streaming the NFL on CBS on Paramount Plus as we dig into this Browns game, specifically the defense, Mac. I know different people watch different things. Your eyes always go to the defensive side of the ball.
Yes.
What did you see that made Cleveland so effective in this game?
Defensively, they have been so consistent. It doesn't matter the quarterback they're going against. We've seen them do great work against experienced quarterbacks. But when you talk about bringing a guy making his first start in Clayton Tune, good luck. Horror film. I understand Halloween is long gone, but it was Halloween today for Clayton Tune. I mean, he was harassed. He was put under pressure. He was hit. He was sacked. He was throwing turnovers. He was literally seeing ghosts and hearing ghosts. But that's been the mindset for this Browns defensive unit. I mean, Coach Sorts has done a phenomenal job in regards to the scheme, utilizing the personnel to his best to put them in positions to be successful. 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. Tune had 58 yards passing. As a team, they had 58 yards total yards of offense. I mean, good luck in thinking you're going to do anything significant to put points on the scoreboard. And as you mentioned, the last time they had a shutout was
2007.
Yes.
Week 15.
It was an easy shutout today. And I'm sorry for a lot of you guys that are involved in fantasy football. If you played against the Cleveland Browns defense like I did, you're hoping and wishing for a lot to happen for you to win, because the Browns put up a phenomenal day from the reality side of things, but also from the fantasy side of things.
You got to feel good about this type of performance, specifically on the defensive side of the ball if you're Cleveland. If you're holding teams to 58 yards and 0 points, you're going to have a chance to beat anybody. But the chances did take a hit on this day as well. You lose your left tackle in Jedrick Wills. Deshaun Watson does return from that shoulder, but a big piece offensively. Take me to the offensive side of the ball. What were your impressions here in the return for Watson, and how do you work through an attrition like that, losing your guy off the left side?
Well, at first, Joe, it was a rocky start for Deshaun Watson. It seemed to be he was out of whack, out of rhythm, and then eventually he kind of found himself in his offense. And that's a bright sign, because when you talk about their defense, Joe, they have a playoff caliber defense. Their defense can weather the storm and get them into a postseason conversation. But them to have any significant play, their offense need to come to the party, as I say, week in and week out. And we saw Deshaun Watson arrive in the second half. He finished with 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown was off a deflection, but yet and still, it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. And Amari Cooper, I'm loving the relationship that we're starting to see with Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper. We know he's one of the best route runners in the game, and just trying to establish that rhythm between the quarterback and the pass catcher will be extremely important for the Browns, because when you have a defense like they have, you just need to have a little bit of consistency from the offensive end, and of course having your quarterback make big-time plays like he was able to do in the second half, and you will have some entertaining things to talk about.
Congratulations, it's a W. Now get on the plane and head to Baltimore for a big-time matchup against the Ravens. As for these Cardinals, it's been a yuck fest. 1-8. Matches their worst 9-game start in the Super Bowl era. Again, how much can you ask of the quarterback position with the situation that young man was put in today? Next week, a different day. Kyler Murray, hopeful to be back, setting that huddle.